Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus. Once again, I'm here to give you another dose of being free. We often love when we think about freedom and what it could mean to so many people if they had just as much freedom as we have, as limited as that might be. But for others to share in what we have shared would be a beautiful thing. And yet that also gives us opportunity to imagine that it could be much better than it is. And if it were to be so, it would include those that we can look back and say they missed it. And now maybe they can come, or maybe we would just be selfish and want to go higher ourselves, regardless of what's lingering behind. We have to say to ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, that the things that go on in our society today, they have a beginning. And it began in the beginning. And it is still evidenced today. That is why it is so needed. If we as human beings could realize that we were born into darkness, and when I say born into darkness, I'm talking about absent the light of truth that would allow us to live with freedom and joy and all of those wonderful things of life. Instead, we are born in a society where crime and violence and terror and war has been in existence ever since we have been in existence. And there's always been some connection to such. And to think about being laxed from such pressures, free from such obligations, and at the same time free to go after our imaginations, to extend ourselves to our greatest potential. Well, that is absent in the world in which we live in. And so we get caught up in these kinds of things. And as a result, many of us find ourselves, not many of us, all of us find ourselves at one time or another engaged in something we are not proud of, something perhaps that we are basically ashamed of. That is one of the fears of the internet and Facebook, is that people are constantly revealing themselves and exposing themselves to the system. And they do this over periods of time, and after a period of time, the system can know exactly who you are, what you're about, and where you are, really. And that is not for a good thing. That is for an oppressive thing, to keep you bound. It is just a heightened reaction to what is going on today. This is why we have such a president in the United States as we do today. This is why all of the people that surround him are connected in some kind of way to all of the stuff that no one is proud of. And the reason that so many people stood against Trump when he was trying to run for office is because they knew that he knew. And so they didn't trust him, and they backbite him. And yet, when the public and the powers that be made the decision that he would be president, that all of these others who were against him now fell in line because they got something that they are ashamed of, embarrassed of. And now they don't want to be exposed. And so they are falling line in sync with whatever's going on. Whether they like it or not, they don't want to be exposed. This is just an explanation, my friends, for what could be happening. I'm not saying that that is what's happening, but it definitely could, especially in consideration of the things that's happening in the public view today. But here again, the whole purpose of this is to say that you as a people should have respect for your government, and your government should have respect for you. Now, whether your government does or doesn't depends upon you initially, whether you got respect for yourselves. And if you do, you would have to recognize the fact that you are not the maker of yourself. And you'd have to honor all that that power has made, because you are of that group and you require the same type of conduct, respect, and treatment. So what we're basically saying, ladies and gentlemen, is this. We have to forgive one another. Oh, it's been hell. It has been hell. But if we don't forgive one another, we're going to have baggage. We're going to have junk. And that will wear us down, keep us down. We're going to know and recognize that we've had various problems. Problems that to some didn't even affect them in any kind of way, and so it was overlooked. And yet it affected others in tremendous ways and was not overlooked. And so whether we know it or not, the evidence is in our darkness. And for us to break free of our darkness, we can't take a chance on thinking that we were always right. We're going to have to jump in there and forgive others as we would expect and desire others to forgive us. Give us a fresh start with a new vision, a vision that has exposed the shortcomings of individuals, the shortcomings of groups, the shortcomings of those which have gone before us in an effort, they say, to produce perfection. They have failed tremendously. And so, ladies and gentlemen, at a time such as this, we should not continue to walk on in those same kind of footsteps that's leading us round and round and round in circles. We should go forward by having faith enough to trust in something else that we know without a doubt that is responsible for the earth that we walk on, is responsible for all of the resources that's in the earth that we as a people have recognized were essential in the vitality of our survival. We must recognize, ladies and gentlemen, that there is a power so magnificent. It was able to put our bodies together in the form and fashion that it has, and in such a way that it requires nourishments from those resources that have been stashed here on the earth, in the earth, above the earth, seen or unseen. That power is magnificent, and it is not our power that set that up. It is a power that we can't see, can't touch, and cannot feel. And we must honor that by keeping in line with that and not just destroying things. Because in destruction there is pain, there's suffering. But in life there's joy, there's freedom, there's peace, there's prosperity, and there's the fulfillment of your dreams. It's an exercise of giving. It's an exercise of love, an exercise of recognizing that you are a tool, an instrument of something that's able to make you, to keep you, and guide you through the joys of life, that allows you to have some purpose for being here. Not just another number, but having purpose. And each of us have purpose. And in exercising that purpose, we engage ourselves in the process of doing that which gives us our greatest joy. And it, my friend, is so interconnected, so intertwined, that when it is given the energy of you in your participation, it revolves around a magnitude of creating those basic goods and services that we the people have determined are so essential in our lives. It gives us our food, our clothing, our shelter, our education, our health care in abundance, more than just for Minnesota, more than just for the United States, but enough for the world. And when I say enough for the world, it is because this light, this little light that we have, we've allowed it to shine, and the whole dead blasted universe can see the power of the magnificent love of God and respect revealed through us to one another, and see what it's doing. And there's no hell on earth that can prevent that from happening once it is exposed. So we got to expose heaven. So that's why I stand before you today and say, you don't have to vote for Trump. You don't have to vote for a Republican or a Democrat. You can step out on faith and let your faith be stepped out on the fact that you are concerned that no individual on this planet can be denied exercise of their basic gifts, their career choices, that every last one of them should be given that opportunity and enhanced by every means necessary to make sure that they are not denied. Knowing that that in itself is directly connected to all of the other things that are essential in our lives. And so we're going to protect ourselves from that which we didn't know before. And we are going to be an expression of that power we can't see by making sure that things are as beautiful as you and me. That is a given challenge that we should each receive in such a way that we would have no more lying and cheating and stealing and terrorizing and racism and bigotry and prejudiceness. No, there's hatred. We've overcome that. We've learned the secret. The secret is eliminating that process that created the haves and the have-nots. By eliminating that and bringing together a glue greater than Gorilla Glue. It's called love glue. And it comes together and attaches what cannot be separated. And we go forward. So yes, I stand before you and say you can vote for yourselves. Because I represent a plan, a heavenly plan, a divine plan that offers you your dreams. But in order for it to be made manifest, it's going to involve you. Not a big complicated thing. All you have to do is make sure that you respect others as you want to be respected. So when laws and rules and policies are established that deals with you, the people, the public, in a daily fashion, in a fashion that is joyous and produces all that we have talked about here. It's not just for some. It's for everyone. Now that is you expressing the real power in a plan such as this. We would have it no other way. That's what you are saying. So anybody that's talking about anything, any imagination, anything that's to go forward in the manifestation of progress, in that manifestation of creation, it must be considered its effect on the population. Is it a good thing for us all? Does it cause any pain and suffering? And how can that be mitigated to the satisfaction of all that's involved? If it can't, it can't. Plain and simple. Love won't have it. But one thing love can do, love can find a way. And so, ladies and gentlemen, having said that, I think it's about time I call it quits. I've given you a little bit of idea that the power still is in your hands. And that everything that's upset, everything that's out there as we know it, basically is out to hold you in the position that you're in, to hold you into bondage. That's why that evil stuff, that the whole foundation of basically our society as we know it is founded on, is crippling and doing such stuff that we hadn't imagined would be happening because we had been told a different thing. Now only to find out the reality, the actions of, has been so diabolically different from what we were told. And now we're kind of catching a lot of us upset. But the truth of the matter is that there is a plan that's available and being made available to you now. So go on Facebook, go on YouTube, and look up Eddie Marcus and all of the various subjects that I've been given to speak to you on. I'm sure you'll find a lot of relief. And so until next time, this is Eddie Marcus saying goodbye.